Hello, hello! Perfidious Pete here, once again ready to explore the pungent pathways of the overgrown gardens and gazebos of Perfidious Manor in Darkest Dungeon. On our previous foray into the dungeon, we rallied up a few of our lesser-loved seekers and sent them on a long journey into darkness. And much like an E.L. James subplot, it turned out to be a surprisingly twisted and dull affair with surprisingly little payoff at the end. And, of course, if you're unfamiliar with the works of E.L. James, first, allow me to express my jealousy at your good fortune, and second, mention that she is the literary dynamo responsible for the 50 Shades trilogy. And if you have had the misfortune of reading any of E.L.'s work, then you know precisely what I'm talking about with the whole subplot thing, because despite the similarity of their names, E.L. isn't exactly a modern-day D.H. Lawrence. But, I digress. We've got neither a Christian Grey nor an Anastasia Steele on this team, so let's leave the literary analysis to old Aunt Esther and the rest of her book club, and get to work slaughtering a few monsters here. Take a look and see. We do want to check our stagecoach very quickly. We are still looking for... looks like we did that last episode, I guess. Must have done that at the end. It's been a day... been about a day since I recorded, so you have to forgive me if I'm revisiting old territory. We are still waiting. 2 slots open. I would like for those 2 slots, ideally, another Vestal and perhaps another Occultist. Randolph Carter has been so fortunate for us. I would like to double up and see if we can't duplicate his luck on another Occultist. The guy is phenomenally lucky. He should buy lottery tickets non-stop every day. That's how much cash he's raking in. But since that's taken care of, and it looks like all our stress relief is also handled, we really just need to grab a mission and get on to work. So let's go down to the embarkation point and see what's available for, what's available to be done. Well, we've got... Still need to level up the Warrens, and I can't help but notice that the only thing there is a champion mission, which we can't really do. That skirmish has some interesting potential, I suppose. Not really overly enthused with that idea. Could take a swing into Necromancer, and we do have some level 4 units now. I would like to get either Madeline Usher or Lucy Pevensey fully cranked up before we maybe give that a swing, so I think we'll probably hold off on that. Massive cash reward to kill the hag. Wow, 10,000 gold. That's a hefty sum. 7,000 gold for a veteran level mission for a medium to gather 3 medicines. If that were in the Warrens, I would almost absolutely certainly take that mission. I can't help but think that one more would get us to level 2 on the Warrens, so I think we're probably going to have to do this short mission at the apprentice level, which I'm not overly enthused about, if I'm perfectly honest. Short missions, I feel, actually are kind of a little bit harder than some of the longer missions. The lack of the ability to camp really is a bit of a drawback. On the plus side, however, we do have a couple lower level folks who could certainly benefit from a little low-level love, so we'll probably sling them in the mission. The problem with that is we have no one available to heal that. Now, ain't that a fine mess? We can't send Lucy, we can't send Madeline, and it looks like Chrysania is, I believe, getting a little bit... Yeah, she's doing a little boozing. So we won't have her available. What we could do, however, is we could go straight up all damage and just try to overpower it with the raw assault tactics of Brienne. It is a short mission. I think we'll risk it. So here's what we're going to do. And I know we haven't had the best record in the Warrens, so going in even slightly poorly equipped seems like a terrible idea, but what can I say? I'm a gambling man. We are going to slice up a little bit here on Arya Stark. We're going to change some of her abilities around just a little teeny tiny bit. We are going to get rid of Toxin Trickery in favor of Shadow Fade instead, and we're going to level up Arya's skills as well. We picked up enough cash on the last mission that we can afford to do that. So Toxin Trickery we will not be leveling, though. Ability, I still am kind of fond of it, but honestly I think Shadow Fade probably still the better choice just to allow her to move. And we can then start her in the 2nd slot and then immediately fade her back to 3rd where she belongs. We are going to do the same sort of thing here for... Well, actually, I don't think we can do it with Fagin, because he's still ranked 0, right? Yeah, so no upgrades for Fagin. But we are going to trade in some of his abilities, because he doesn't have what we like. We like point-blank shot, and we like grape shot blast. So we're going to make sure... Fagin is going on a mission. We want to make sure he has the right abilities. Going to sort through our trinkets very quickly here as well, just to see if anything... Ooh, Grave Robber only. 10% to stun, 10% to blight. That's not terrible, has no real drawback, so since it's only objective benefits, we'll throw that on there for now. Moon Ring, good, but we don't really go in the darkness all that often. A double-edged pendant for a Hellion is quite good. If only this were a Hellion. Bonus stress resist in the dark. Dodge stone? I don't really like the accuracy penalty. Don't like the damage penalty. Profane scroll for a Vestal. That's actually quite good. Someone should definitely be wearing that. Let's take a look at... Oh, come on. Take a look at Madeline. Madeline actually has no second trinket, so there's absolutely no reason for her to not go ahead and take this Profane Scroll. Why you'd want to carry around a Profane Scroll, I'm not entirely sure. But hey, E.L. James, Speak of the Devil's made a fortune on that. Oh, no, that's not cool. I actually have no qualms about the content of E.L.'s work. I don't think there's anything wrong with erotic literature in any way, shape, or form. I do think there's a great deal wrong with the fact that E.L. can't really write at all. If you want to read good erotic literature, hey, I mentioned D.H. Lawrence. Check out Lady Chatterley's Lover. That's about as erotic as it gets. And also, you know, written by someone who can construct a simple declarative sentence properly. Quick Draw Charm. I think we're actually going to equip this on our Grave Robber, just to try and kind of ensure that she goes first and gets a chance to immediately Shadow Fade every single round. I like that, and yeah, we're going to roll with that. Let's get rid of Toxin Trickery. Going to reorder these skills very slightly. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 because I guess I'm on the Flintstones here. What the fuck is wrong with me? Anyway, that's got Arya sorted. So back to the embarkation point. Let's try and overpower this small, short mission. And I think what we'll do is try and make up for the lack of healing with an abundance of food. Trying to decide how we want to order this party. We kind of want Fagin in the front to take advantage of point-blank shot. Let's look at Fagin. Do we have any Highwayman trinkets we can use here? Anything that would be good at all would be handy. +1 speed, -1 crit. That's actually not terrible. Going first is an important part of the game plan for our Highwayman. Bonus dodge, Eldritch Slayer's Ring. Doesn't look like we have a whole lot else to go. A Swift Cloak could buff his speed at the cost of accuracy. I do not like that at all. Yes, yes, Candy, I know you like to drink, gamble, and whore. That's cool. I mean, we all like to drink, gamble, and whore. You don't really pile it on. Everybody knows. Those are all fun things to do. I think we will... Nah, I don't really want to tank his critical chance. It's already fairly low. Let's not monkey with it. We're just gonna have to rely on a little bit of good fortune here for Fagin. Hopeful maybe that the Artful Dodger will can channel a bit of Dodger's skill. So we're gonna put Candy in a third slot, Fagin in front. Our goal will be to have our Grave Robber go first, drop back, and drop Candy Jade into the proper position. Or Brienne, rather, I'm sorry. Make sure we've got the right funk. Yeah, only... Well, okay, and Brienne has 2 abilities that can be used from the third slot, so worst case scenario, she'll be able to contribute something. What are we going to do about our 4th position, though? That's the real question. We could take Django, but Django doesn't have a lot to offer from the 4th position. In third... Well, you know what? I say that, but he's actually got 3 abilities that he can use from the 3rd position. He's not ideal for the 3rd position, but he can do the job. He's really kind of the only game in town, actually. Yeah, all right. So we're gonna have to roll with Django Fett, and I gotta say, I am not liking this lineup even one little bit. A good deal of the success or failure on this mission really is going to be determined by sort of the room layout that we get. And we are going to take way more food than we would ordinarily take on a short mission. 2 full stacks to make up for our lack of healer, 2 shovels, and a key, and since we are going into the Warrens, let's take 1 holy water. And that's more than enough provisioning for this mission. We're going healerless, folks. We've got the pants off. We're running around naked. We are streaking, and it's probably just about our luck that we're going to be the one person who gets caught streaking on campus, winds up in the campus police department, and then we get forced to register as a sex offender because we ran around, naked on campus one night while completely drunk. Also, we have to complete 100% of room battles, which that's not exactly fortunate. We're going to have to try and make do. We got to hope for a little bit of luck here. Theoretically, there could only be 1 or 2 room battles even in this. And please tell me I brought torches. Okay. So we're going not only full on healerless, but we're going without torches too, because I'm an idiot. Who wants to risk the books? Anybody? Why not? At this point, we're already kind of boned. Alright, so some nice stress for a Grave Robber. That's a fantastic way to start things off. Coming out strong. We are the Cubs in April, boys. Coming out strong. And by that I mean we're all hitting like 110. Alright, so we did get scouting, and our goal here is to complete room battles. No real reason to go that way. Let's move here. Ideally, we could get perhaps another scouting attempt. Let's have Fagin check this out. Oh, a map. Excellent. More scouting. Nicely done, Fagin, sir. Quite proud of you. So, we have exactly 2 room battles. So we've got to win a total of 3 fights. We got very lucky in our initial route choice. We're going to have to fight 3 total fights. This is achievable, and now I'm thinking perhaps I may have brought a little more food than is necessary. I may have over-provisioned. We are not going to have an abundance of treasure on this mission either, so we may be looking at a net loss for this one. Not a fantastic start, though. First thing we're going to do, Shadow Fade. Try and stun that Carrion Eater. Alright, so we've got exactly what we were hoping for. Bonus dodge for our Grave Robber. Didn't fucking help a single lick. She got hit and blighted. Stress attack from the drum. Oh, no, that's a debuff. Alright. And we forgot to change Fagin's abilities, didn't we? We sure did. And we can't do it in combat. Well, that's just lovely. Alright, so we're going to have to make do with a slightly gimped Fagin. That should have been a point-blank shot that got a kill and moved him back 1 row to safety. Oh, my ill-preparedness is really not helping us out here at all. Django Fett, though, helping out with a monstrous skull-splitting blow from his axe. Mr. Narrator right on top of that one, calling it a devastating blow, and I gotta say, accurately labeled, sir. We could go for the breakthrough here. I think the breakthrough is probably the right move. It should get a kill, assuming it can hit. Yep, 1 KO and an extra 7 damage. That's fine. We're in good position here. So, Django Fett, ready to act again, and I gotta say, I think we just go for finish him once more. Bam! 2 swings, 2 kills. Django is looking like the bounty hunter we need. Gotta say, Brienne has taken quite a beating here. She is marked, though, and that does give bonus damage to the enemy. Picked up a free shovel, 200 gold, and a portrait. The problem, Brienne is going to eat 200 gold's worth of food just to patch herself up after that battle. That is most unfortunate. What have we got here? Some kind of table? A makeshift dining table. Well, medicinal herbs are what we would typically use on this. We're just going to use nothing. Table is empty. Fat indeed. I highly agree, Brienne. A very accurate assessment of the situation. We're going to give a couple food here to Arya as well, and then I suppose we have nothing to do but journey on. Now, if we can win these fights in reasonable measure, we will take a chance at maybe some bonus treasure. But we've sort of got to win the day before we really... And I forgot to juggle Fagin's abilities once again. I also did not put Arya back in the spot where she belongs. This mission is a fucking comedy of errors, folks. It is a cavalcade of screw-ups. What can I say? I'm prone to fucking up, and I'm certainly living up to that right here. On the plus side, when Brienne gets to go, she may be able to get as many as 2 KOs with a breakthrough. Rend for the old gods, not too terrible. The bleed is unfortunate. Drums of Doom, a little stress for everyone. Not a great deal of stress, though, actually. That's kind of a low stress amount for a stress attack. Brienne finally gets to go. 2 KOs and 4 extra damage, and I gotta imagine our little cultist brawler friend here is probably doomed. Django? Yeah, Django's not gonna let him linger. He's... No cranberries up in here. Django is not a fan. He's just gonna straight up split his skull.
And insidious killer.
So let's do a little bit of food distributing. Let's give 2 food. Oh wow, Fagin does not heal a great deal from food. It's actually to the point where it's almost not worth it to give him food. And let's fix our abilities and order our party properly before we get into another fight, so I don't look like a complete asshole any longer than necessary. So Fagin, you're right where you need to be. Never mind. Don't. Yep, I already swapped you, so just swap it back. Brienne, swap with our little grave robber there. Let Arya get back where she needs to be. Let's pick up our free torch, which we're not going to use, and then continue on. On the plus side, we did get lucky with the layout. We only have 1 more fight that we have to fight. This is, of course, not our first night at Fight Club, so if we don't want to fight, we don't have to fight. Win this, and it's mission complete, but they're not going to make it easy on us with the swine chopper, and we are definitively going for the stun on the chopper. He has the most stun resistance, actually. He is probably the worst target for it. What's the base on this? 110. We have effectively a 60% chance on that guy, but almost a certain chance on the drummer. What about you? Almost a certain chance on the wretch. Well, we can't hit the wretch. Well, let's hit the chopper then. Alright, so bonus dodge for our highwayman and a stun on the most dangerous unit from a damage standpoint. Swine, wretch cannot hold his liquor, puking on Brienne of Tarth. And since we have this guy stunned, bonus damage with a finish him. Django, nice 13 damage chop. That is an acceptable level of damage from our bounty hunter. Blight for Brienne is unfortunate. Drums of Doom, a little more stress piling on. That's okay. Everybody's still doing reasonably well in the stress department. Point blank shot, and that's a kill for Fagin. Stun comes off of our wretch, and I have to feel that we're going to be doing an if it bleeds here. Put it on the wretch, not quite fatal damage. And the wretch is going to puke. Yep, he's puking at Arya. Arya's bonus dodge really doing some fine work for us in that she's yet to dodge a single fucking attack. Thank you, Shadow Fade. Gotta say, I'm not pleased. He's going to be very resistant to bleed. Let's go ahead and see if we can finish him with the finish him. And Django, I gotta say, Django, you are the anchor for this party, sir. You are the rock on which our foundation rests. Django bringing it all, letting it all hang out. Brienne with a nice 7 damage swing there. And I think we're just gonna go with a nice pick to the face. Arya can't quite get it done. That's okay, though. Django, once again, finish him. Shang Tsung style, getting it done. And that should be it, correct? Yeah, alright. 2 extra food and success. It does indeed promise success, Mr. Narrator, because we just fucking finished it, and we did in fact succeed. So let's open this chest. This is an heirloom chest. Do we risk... let's just use the key. Mission is almost over, and I don't really feel... Yeah, we're going to get a net loss on this mission. What have we got in gold? 500, 1,000... We don't even have 2,000 full gold here. So we're going to go for one more room. We can bail out at a moment's notice, so we don't have to worry about damage or healing. And we keep finding food, so, I mean, there is that as well. You're going to tell me that every single one of these is a torch, then. Well, that torch had 250 gold to go with it, so that's a win. Secrets and wonders can be found this is... We do not have medicine. I don't really want to dig around in a pile of dead bodies. We don't need food, so there's really no advantage to that. This room is empty. Only remaining potential for loot would be to backtrack all the way up here. And honestly, with Arya sort of borderline in the stress department, I don't necessarily feel it's worth the risk. So this is going to be kind of a short mission. But we did make do with a less than stellar crew. We sort of got by. And I said I over-prepared with food initially, but now that upon further review, seems like we had just about the right amount of food to go without a healer. But it is good to know that if we necessary, on a short enough mission, we can go full-on healerless and just rely on overwhelming damage output to sort of carry the day. That's, it's good to know. It's at least a worthwhile experiment for us, and we probably made a very, very small amount of gold after we pay to put Arya Stark somewhere to get some stress relief. We're going to break just about dead even. Did pick up some few crests, a couple deeds, a little bust, 1 portrait. So we didn't make out fantastically in the heirloom department, but we did pick some up, so there is that. Fagin picking up a level, that's fine. Arya Stark getting very close to level 2. Curious is... Despite its seemingly innocuous name, one of the worst fucking quirks you can get, because it will make people read books, scrolls, all kinds of shit that winds up having huge drawbacks. It's going to give you more unpleasant quirks than you're going to be pleased with. Or just a buttload of stress. That's the other thing it gets you. Ruin's Phobe is terrible. And Brienne is a fast healer. So we got 1 positive quirk, 2 negative quirks, and Curious, seriously, Fagin is probably going into the sanitarium to get rid of that shit immediately. And that's going to take our overall profit margin on the mission probably into the negative. On the plus side, Chrysania's stress should be completely alleviated. Yep. And she didn't get drunk and pass out in a gutter, so we've got that going for us. Doctor Strange and Simkin both getting rid of slow draw. And that's basically all that happened. So not really an exciting trip around the around the dungeon today. What do we got here? Anything good? Not really. That's not great. That is actually pretty terrible for 20,000 gold. 10 accuracy is huge, but minus 12 dodge and move resist, that one has some serious drawbacks. Book of Relaxation is pretty much crap. Yeah. Alright then. So let's go to the sanitarium. We're sticking Fagin in. Fagin's going to be one of our guys that goes in for a little bit of treatment. You got to get rid of... Oh, man, he has Fear of the Eldritch, too. This guy has a ton of bad shit. Thanatophobia is not terrible. Let's get rid of Curious. Curious is easily the worst of his negative quirks. And then I have to assume we had one other person who also needed to get rid of some negative quirks, did we not? It was not Roderick. Half-cock... It was Half-cock Jack, I believe. Misses the spot. Maybe it wasn't. Was it Lucy? Dud hitter is... Yeah, well, nah, it's not terrible, actually, for a healer. Was it the Murph? Murph has Scattering and Thin-Blooded. Thin-Blooded is unfortunate, but it's not a breaker. Deckard. Not really. Chrysania. Again, not really. Simkin? Simkin has Misses the Spot, which is bad. Also, Lygophobia, which is, not huge, actually. Django, what do you got? You're Winded? Winded and a Stress Eater. I also am a Stress Eater. I know your pain, Django. Kleptomaniac is so bad. Oh, Candy Jade has Curious and Kleptomaniac. Alright. Candy, sorry. You're a little too inquisitive for your own good and also take things that don't necessarily belong to you. Why don't you go seek a little treatment for those conditions? Those things are bad, and we should probably try and have you avoid repeating that behavior in the future. Let's run over to our stagecoach very quickly. Still no Seeker, but we do have an Occultist available for the roster. That has some very interesting potential. We were interested in picking up Occultist, and I think we're going to go ahead and seize the opportunity, so take a look at his abilities. He's light sensitive, which frankly for us is bad, since we do all light runs, and he has a penalty to damage unless he is in complete and total darkness. On the plus side, Quick Reflexes and Second Wind are both excellent. So I think what we do is we pick this guy up, and then just as our first opportunity, we cram him into the sanitarium and get rid of that damage penalty. He has actually almost every ability we would want, except for... no, he has every ability we want, right? Yeah, he has actually the perfect set of abilities. So, Lue no longer. I think for this Occultist, this is going to be Dorian Gray. Is it EY or AY? I can never remember when it comes to Dorian Gray. I believe it's AY. It is, in fact, AY. So Dorian Gray, then, ready to join our ranks. He is, of course, immortal, so Dorian Gray should be quite difficult to kill. Unless one of these portraits we have found is, of course, the portrait of Dorian Gray, in which case, well, he's probably straight up boned almost immediately. Put him at the bottom of our list. That's fine. And we will get him into the sanitarium at our first opportunity. But with that taken care of, I think we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, a little bit short, I know, but perhaps on our next mission we'll be doing a medium or long mission that's a little higher level, should be a little more intriguing, so, stay tuned. But if you did enjoy the episode, drop a like down in the comments section. Your support means a lot to us. And if you'd like to see more Darkest Dungeon 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, consider subscribing as well. We'll see you again soon.